Four men armed with automatic rifles land a stolen helicopter on the roof of a cash depot and proceed to execute a near-flawless heist, successfully climbing down from the roof into the main building, breaching the cash storage cages with saws, and escaping without the police ever entering the building. This is the story of Västberga, G4S cash service helicopter heist, one of the largest heists in Swedish history. Our story begins in the year 2009. The first step of the heist begins with a man breaking into a police helicopter depot outside of Stockholm. For the rest of their plan to work, he needed to ensure the police helicopter stay grounded. To accomplish this, he placed one explosive charge near the helicopter hangar and one near the fuel tanks. He left the depot undetected. While this was occurring, multiple armed men entered the Roslagen helicopter base. Although the group came prepared for a firefight armed with rifles and submachine guns, they encountered no employees, security, or alarms and walked right into the hangar and flew away in a Bell 206 helicopter. At approximately 5:15 a.m. in the city of Stockholm, the stolen Bell helicopter landed on the roof of the G4S cash service building. Four men exited the helicopter and immediately began to smash out the reinforced glass on the building skylight with sledgehammers. The men then deployed an extension ladder and made their way into the building's main floor. Utilizing small explosives, the group made quick work of the multiple security doors and entered the cash room. A large saw was used to breach the cash cages, revealing their loot. The thieves then filled their bags with money, swiftly climbed up the ladder, and left in the helicopter, all without making contact with any of the 20 employees that remained in the building or the police ever making it to the scene. The entire heist took less than 20 minutes. The police attempted to respond by air, but when they went to make entry into the helicopter hangar, they were greeted with the two explosive charges with the word bomb written on them. Fearing for their lives, the surrounding area was evacuated. Later on, the bomb disposal unit was called in. When they attempted to defuse the bomb, they quickly realized that the two explosive charges were fake. Ground units also attempted to respond, but once again, the thieves outsmarted them and had an accomplice cover the roads leading to the cash depot with caltrops flattening all of the respondents' units' tires. The Swedish Air Force happened to be conducting drills in their Saab JAS-39 Gripen fighter jets during the robbery and offered assistance in pursuing the helicopter. However, the request was turned down as it was deemed not a military matter. Hours after the robbery, police located the stolen helicopter in a wooded area, 20 kilometers north of Stockholm. Although it may seem like the thieves were in the clear, 1 month prior to the robbery, the Serbian police informed the Swedish embassy that a group of criminals were planning a heist in Stockholm with a former member of the Special Operations Anti-Terrorist Unit known as the Red Berets. The suspect went by the name of Gangster King. However, law enforcement failed to act on this information. The police were criticized heavily for this, as well as their initial response to the heist, as it took the SWAT team over an hour to enter the building. By then, the thieves were long gone. 2 days after the heist, police in the Dominican Republic on the behalf of the Swedish government apprehended Safa Kadum, who had just entered the country. The Swedish government chartered a private plane and flew him back to Sweden to await trial. A second man by the name of Alexander Eriksson flew to the Canary Islands. Immediately upon landing, a special operations unit of the Swedish police arrested him and flew him back to Sweden. Over the course of a year, the Swedish police arrested 10 men in connection with the robbery. However, 3 of them were released. The police believed at least 10 others were involved. The pilot of the helicopter, Alexander Eriksson, argued in court that he was high on drugs at the time of the robbery. An hour after the robbery near where the helicopter was disposed of, security footage of a McDonald's showed Eriksson drinking coffee and asked staff members to call him a cab. He was ultimately found guilty and sentenced to 8 years. Robert Safakanhum was identified as one of the masked men and received 8 years. Jarvel Charo and Michael Sodokran both received 5 years sentences for their roles in organizing and planning the heist. The other men received sentences that were 3 years or less. It may seem that the heist was a failure. However, police only recovered roughly $8,000, with the total score being an estimated 39 Swedish kroner, or around 5.4 million US dollars. It is speculated that the uncaptured crew members are holding onto the cash until the remaining members are released from jail.